What are you doing?
Oh my
I
god.
don't even know what's going on.
Cancer. Hi there, Cancer. Here is your tarot reading. I want to remind you that I'm a medium, and if someone comes through, I will let you know. And what I deliver is exactly what they either tell me or show me. And already I have Bernie. Bernie, I'm going to ignore that because I don't hear Bernie before I saw this card, and I'm actually just shuffling the cards so that I can hear. It just distracts me. And I know you like to hear the sounds of the cards, so that's why I'm doing it this way. All right, so what is Bernie's talking about the name Ooh, Behringer. Bernie was a drinker. Bernie liked dark liquor. He's showing me dark liquor. I want to say Bernie Behringer liked brandy. This is ridiculous. This is so much lighter than the Gemini reading. The Gemini reading absolutely had me. I don't know if that has anything to do with you. You might want to check it because I'm connecting them, but just kind of a trigger warning. That Gemini reading just had me all kinds of You know, the Gemini reading, either Gemini's a liar, Gemini's dealing with a liar. There's all kinds of I'll just leave it there. I do not want to infect your reading. I'm going to set this one aside. That's a sun card. That makes me feel a lot better. Let me put this back in. Okay, so Bernie was a drinker and he liked his brandy. Let me see if I'm getting him. Bernie. Bernie was funny. And the ice cubes the ice cubes are different. These ice cubes look like the ice cubes that were made in a very pretty boat. It wasn't a yacht because it was under 32 feet. When I was a kid, we took a trip to Catalina. Catalina Island may be significant to you, but some friends of the family, the ice cubes, I remember seeing those same kind of cubes. Like it's an ice cube that's kind of a cylindrical shape with a hole in it. Bernie was quite the drinker. Nice guy. Bernie wanted to travel, but he didn't get to travel the world the way that he wanted to. I don't think Bernie got very far in his travels. And travel is, these days you can do what I do. You could travel with an Oculus, a headset, travel on the internet. But Bernie says he's traveling. Ooh, now, pardon me. Bernie left somebody some money. Bernie says you're welcome. Remember that. Oh my goodness. Bernie's really got my attention. Bernie says that his wife is also crossed over, and I'm going to have to say it exactly the way he's saying. His wife wasn't a bitch. She just really liked her house clean. I don't know what that means. I just have to say. He wore a brown polyester suit. He may have been buried in this suit. You know, Bernie. I'm going to say that his wife, I'm not getting the name. I know that she, her name may have been Maybell. Maybell. There's a connection to the name Maybell. I'm going to say that I think she was a difficult woman, but he adored her. Anyway, Bernie may have been buried in a brown polyester suit, the kind with top stitching, which tells me that that is a suit that is from the mid 70s, mid to late 70s. But that was an old suit of his that seems to have been selected because somebody else in the family liked it. But I believe that this gentleman passed away. Bernie passed away in the early 2000s. But I'm telling you that I know the suit I'm looking at. All right. So, Bernie, we're going to move along so that we can actually get that car. He says that the socks were actually present. You know, I don't know much about the work that morticians do, although when I was in high school and I took the career test, I don't remember what it's called now. The career that I was apparently perfect for was as a mortician. And at the time, now I could do that, but at the time, that was just too scary because, you know, when I was in high school, you know, the first real full apparition of a dead person, or at least one that should not have been there, was when I was about 15 years old and I was just hanging up the phone with my so cute boyfriend. Platinum blonde hair, just total surfer dude, just gorgeous. I have to get his, you know, I'll get him off my mind right now. I better get him off my mind right now because anyway, we're going to have to talk about you speaking up. So anyway, that was when I was 15. And now that I'm distracted by my first boyfriend, I'm just a mess. All right, Bernie. Oh, where were we with the... he's making me feel like, you know, they don't usually put your shoes on. But he says the socks were present and the socks didn't match. And apparently that was planned. Like, please put these socks on our Bernie because he would like that. Okay, Bernie. Oh my goodness. I think that Bernie's going to end up hanging around. Bernie is going to end up hanging around. Oh my gosh. He really wants to talk about his wife again. You know, at first I thought she had dark hair. She could have been a redhead. Or she just really wanted that house clean. So if you all think that she was in a bad mood all the time, you know, it's because she had a lot to do. Okay. So let's get to... All right, let's get to this because Bernie's going to distract me. So, Bernie, if you would please step into the lounge. So let's see, what's your theme for the week? I can't say a word. Okay, so the theme for the week, we've got the lovers upright. Did I say lovers? I almost said levers. Who's Somebody's British. Was Bernie British? Was Bernie British? Let's see. We'll see. For your challenges, we have the 9 of Wands, finances, King of Swords. These are all upright so far. For romance, we've got the Ace of Cups upright. All right. For your solutions and guidance, Bernie. Knight of Pentacles. All right. So Bernie says everything's going to be okay. And again, he wants to say, you're welcome for the money. Okay, so I'm going to let his energy rest over here. No offense, Bernie. Please enjoy the lounge. All right. First, let me tell you, somebody's eating a little bit too much mayonnaise. Watch that. Not that mayonnaise is bad for you, but it's a lot of calories all at once. I just need to say it that way. A lot of calories all at once. Maybe I'm just supposed to say somebody's eating a lot of mayonnaise because then you know that this is about you. Okay, I do want to mention this. There's someone around you that has or had a significant drinking issue. Not Bernie. This could be connected to Bernie, but this isn't Bernie. So this issue, I'm going to call it alcoholism. Because, all right, look, a person can have a drinking tendency for even an extended period of time, but not be a career alcoholic, okay? This is a temporary issue with this person. That person is going through something. I don't know what they're going through. So if you're worried that this is going to be forever, it will not be forever. But this person definitely needs to get some qualified professional help. And it's going to be difficult for this person. It's a male. It's a male. For lots of you, it's going to resonate when I say male. Has this drinking issue, and this is a younger person. I keep my eyes closed for the most part when I'm channeling if I'm feeling something. So I only look when I know that the card has actually popped into a position of significance, or I'll stop. You'll hear it. I'm using an AI mic, so... Pardon me just a moment while I think about this. So the issue is that this person isn't going to open up to just anybody easily. With alcoholism, with people that are in a state that's not going to become a lifelong problem, it's hard. Gosh, Maybell, here we go again. Maybell's sister had black hair. Maybell's sister had black hair, but Maybell seemed to favor red hair. Okay, so back to this issue with the alcoholism. This isn't going to be a lifelong thing, but this person does definitely need to get some help. Because the issue is, see, and here we go. This is going to tie into the talking. This is something that needs to be talked about, but we have to be very careful with people who are in even a temporary state of drinking, okay? The moon, definitely drinking. Empress over a mother figure. This person drinks because of some pain associated with their biological mother. The biological mother has black hair again. All right. So now let's get to the reading, or like I've said in other readings, we could just be channeling all night the devil, the temptation here. Okay, so for the theme of the week, okay, Cancer. Whoops. There we go. With the Lovers upright, this week is all about choices. I'm going to keep shuffling just in case there's something else of significance that comes through. But I'll keep my eyes closed. So this week is all about choices and connections and the sacred dance between your heart and your higher self. Remember, the Lovers isn't just about romance. It's about alignment. Spirit is saying, what are you choosing out of love? And what are you choosing out of fear, Cancer? This week's energy asks you to commit, not just to someone or something, but to a version of yourself that's ready to stop compromising what truly matters. I'm also picking up a male figure in spirit that's, possibly someone who passed from the chest or heart area, who's stepping forward and saying, make the choice that honors your soul. I don't know if he's on my left or on my right. This isn't Bernie. This is an individual whose name starts with a T and had a black mustache. He seems very powerful, but he's actually quite shy. I'll let you know if I hear more. Somebody's dealing with a Libra who is a lying ass Libra. There is a Libra. There is a Libra who is a liar. Also an impersonator, meaning that this Libra will try to take on other people's personalities, because obviously I'm going to have to be rude. I'm just going to say it because I want you to hear me vocalizing and being very direct, because that's something that you need to practice doing. This Libra is a lying ass manipulator. This is an impersonator. This Libra has no substance. This is a blonde Libra. Whether this is a bottle blonde or streaks in the hair, I don't know, but this is blonde hair. And what I'm going to say, she's a raging bitch. I can't believe this is because of whatever energy this is. So please accept my apologies for the language. I think I'm picking up this ugly Libra's energy. If you're dealing with this ugly Libra, and I don't mean ugly physically, because I don't want to judge, although this Libra needs to run around the block. I don't know. I'm going to be as rude as she is, I suppose. But this is a nasty Libra. Watch it with her, because, that person has it out for you or out for everybody. I just get this nasty. Once in a while, when I get an energy like this, it makes me feel like I want to take 14 showers. This Libra is also somebody who is promiscuous. This is a Libra who will sleep, probably made a career out of sleeping around because she thinks that's what makes her popular. What is that? That is nasty. Oh my gosh. It probably, you know what I mean? I would be very sad. I think this Libra has a daughter. Somebody's got colored hair, but this Libra's showing up in here. And what I mean is, like, this Libra's daughter, I don't feel anything about the daughter. I think the daughter's got some issues that need to be addressed, but I don't want to disrespect the daughter, because I'm trying to figure out why Cancer is not speaking up about this Libra with the daughter. The Libra has a daughter with colored hair, and I hope the Libra has not taken after her mother in terms of her mother's way of moving through life. You don't have to sleep with everybody, people. I don't understand this Libra. I don't understand why this Libra thinks that somehow people jumping on top of her I feel like this. I feel disgusting. I feel like this disgusting Libra Cancer. I don't know who this is. I want this woman out of my energy because it seems like if I let her in my energy, I feel like I want to take 14 showers. I don't understand that. I don't understand that, but you need to speak up because somehow there's a clock ticking. There's something you need to do, something you need to say. There is an opportunity you need to advance on. That one almost popped out. I felt it. But there's an opportunity that it's either an opportunity to speak or an opportunity for a job or an opportunity to speak your piece and to get it out there. Kind of like I'm telling you that there's this lying ass manipulating Libra. Oh my goodness, let's get rid of this. Okay, so we need to make sure that you understand that you need to speak your truth. Something's taking a really long time too. For your challenges in the Nine of Wands upright, you may be feeling tired, Cancer. The Nine of Wands is that energy of the spiritual warrior who's been through it and is still standing though. This card tells me you've been holding strong for a while now and maybe the weight is catching up with you. Spirit says you don't always have to fight. You can rest. The challenge this week is to know when your defenses are helping you and when they're keeping you isolated. You're not weak for needing a pause, Cancer. Someone in spirit, possibly a maternal figure, is wrapping you in warm, protective energy and saying it's okay to soften. I think that this is an actual living mother figure. So for whomever this resonates, this is a mother who is alive. For your finances and the King of Swords upright, I really get that somebody's trying to muscle you out of a job. Some of you are going to understand what I mean. You know, that's why I'm saying speak up so that, you know, don't say, well, you know, if that other person wants it more. No BS. Because that person will jump right over you, kick you in the head on the way. No. If I were your mother, I would tell you to go for what it is that you want. Be fair, be polite, be decent, be kind. But, you know, when we're playing chess, we don't play dumb to let the other person make the better move. Like, I'm sorry. It's okay to soften, but take care of yourself first. Go get what you want. For your finances and the King of Swords upright in terms of money, the King of Swords brings clarity, logic, and strong decision making. It's time to approach your finances with a sharp, steady mind. So the Spirit, I am sure, would say, look at the numbers. Get clear and make the call. Maybe you have to make a specific phone call. There may be a contract, a decision, or conversation that requires you to stand in your truth this week. I'm telling you, you need to speak up. Don't let emotions cloud the facts, but also don't let fear block necessary action. Another person in spirit, possibly a father or advisor type, who's saying, be smart, but don't be scared. You've got the wisdom, so use it. Sounds like something my father would say. Be direct or miss an opportunity. For your romance with the Ace of Cups upright, you've had a falling out with someone. For some of you, there's a significant argument that just took place. It could be in recent history, whatever that is for you. If it still stings, then it still is in your energy, right? You need to speak. Who's Glinda? Glinda or Glenda? I can't tell if it's Glinda or Glenda, but she says, thanks for the rabbit. A green house is significant. The green I see is it's not mint green. It's a little bit darker. Don't go avocado green. That's not it. This is This is a greenhouse, but thank you for the rabbit. That's what she wants to say. Linda. War pleated skirts. Okay, so for romance, let's get to the romance. Because Ace of Cups is a beautiful sign for love. The Ace of Cups is a heart opening. A new beginning emotionally. So if you're single, this could signal a new crush, someone reaching out, or just you feeling emotionally available again. If you're partnered, it's a chance to rekindle something deeper, more soul-based. Spirit says, let yourself feel all the way through. There's a message here about healing old heartache, not by closing off, but by loving anyway, okay? Oh, Glinda says King Charles. Isn't there a dog? She's talking about a dog, not the King Charles. I believe, isn't there a King Charles Spaniel? I think this is a dog. Spirit is showing me flowers, like the gesture of affection, and they're saying love still wants to bloom in your life, so don't be closed off. You were dealing previously maybe with a fire sign, for those of you that this resonates, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, who was an absolute piece of work. You know, it's a good thing that you got that person out of your life. They were going to do nothing but play games. And, leave those people to end up alone and old and lonely, and bless them on their way. Don't even bother praying. Say, Lord, help them. That's enough of a prayer. For your solutions and guidance with the Knight of Pentacles upright, stand up and speak. I'm telling you. Knight of Pentacles says, slow and steady, Cancer. Your solution isn't in rushing or overreacting. It's in trusting the process and staying grounded. This card is about consistency, patience, and tending to what matters, even when progress feels slow. Spirit says you're building something that lasts, whether it's your healing, your finances, or your sense of purpose. This week is about showing up with love and care, one step at a time. A calm, dependable energy surrounds you, so Spirit wants you to know that you're not falling behind. Don't go too fast. Don't rush the process. So in summary, Cancer, this week is about emotional truth and soul-level choices. The Lovers ask you to choose love, not fear. The Nine of Wands reminds you that you're allowed to rest. Finances call for clarity and leadership, while love is opening like a flower again, soft, sacred, and real. Not a fake like the King of Wands reverse. Your solution, trust the pace. You don't have to rush healing, connection, or progress. Spirit says stay true, move gently. Love is leading the way. I love you guys. Let's do your charms. Arr.
Ma fede fumo e le quali.
All right, so let's get into the pirate's chest. Here we go. I got to get my hands pretty deep in there. I don't want to nick my hands, but I'm going to chip this manicure. Okay, so we have a scent bird tube. Oh, smells like heaven. Oh, reminds me of somebody. It's a woman's fragrance, but it's a long story. All right, hands back in there. Now, okay, so we have a pencil sharpener that goes to a set of acrylic paints. Somebody's an artist. Do you like painting too? I discovered the beauty of oil paint. Well, I mean, a few years ago, I just didn't have enough time to paint. Ooh, the kitty cat. All right. All right, Cancer. Why is this not recording? Oh, yes, it is recording. I just looked at this. Okay, so now we've got the scent bird tube, and I was having a thought when I wanted to take a whiff of this to see. Do you know what that sounds like? That sounds like crystal. That sounds like a bottle of something to celebrate with. So even though this is about a fragrance and this is scent bird, and I do know what this fragrance is. Oh, gosh, it's one that I really like. Let me just take a moment. Oh, Lord, this is just perfect. I'm going to have to purchase this fragrance again. You know, because it's just a little bit masculine. I'm really girly. I am a really girly girl. I had ballet lessons. I had piano lessons. I danced. I did all of these different things. I still play with dolls. You know what I mean? But this just like, I don't like to come across too flowery. Anyway, but I really think that this is something coming up that you will be celebrating, Cancer. And this is, even though this is a tube that the fragrance came in, what do you think? Okay, so to the pencil sharpener, some of you may be in school and some of you may be really... Some of you need to sharpen that mental pencil, that mental acuity, that ability to get the speech out of the mouth, to say what you need to say. You don't have to hurt anybody, definitely don't hurt your loved ones and the people in your family, especially, anything could happen. But that's why we got Uncle Bernie drinking a bit too much. Normal people can knock back a few and they may say a few words that are a little bit excessive. Sometimes you end up on a cop cam, right? And I don't know, I love cop shows, but to those unfortunate creatures, they don't remember what they've said. I think a few of us have been there before, and but I think that you need to get ready to say what you need to say. If you're interviewing for a position, then, you need to really state your case and really let them know why you are the right person for this job, the position, the task. If it's in a relationship where you've had difficulty, you're going to need to let them know what you need to be, what you want to communicate, what you need to be clear on. You need to just say this, okay? But, whatever it is that you need to speak up on, because I think that there's this element of needing to get to it. Get to it. All right, for the little cat charm, with the combination of, gosh, here, please forgive me. I know. Oh, gosh, it's just so good. Oh, Lord in heaven. I'm like, oh, I'm in love. The combination of these three objects really make me feel that you need to be prepared to say what you need to say to defend yourself. The little cat is really talking about you could be as soft and sweet and contented as you'd like to be, and you should be. But remember, the cats have claws and they will defend themselves. I spent too many years being the pussycat in the corner in yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Until I met the worst individual I could have ended up in a relationship with. And it was the relationship phase of that relationship was very brief. And I was out like this as soon as I knew that it was bad. And I could not be the pussycat to this person because that was going to be an absolute monster. Some of you in this relationship that you're in are going to need to recognize that if it's a relationship with someone who is just going to hide you away, who is just going to crush your spirit, who continues to criticize you, that tends to be a narcissistic personality, narcissistic traits. All right. Cancer, you don't do well in relationships with people like that. No one does anyway. They're unhealthy. There's nothing that can be done about them. If you're in a relationship with somebody who has narcissistic personality traits, any narcissistic traits, you can, take them out of the DSM-5 type books, or you can, I guess you'd have to go into pretty, deep study there, or you can go into what the vernacular would mean by that. They don't change. They're born that way. They die that way. A true narcissist doesn't change. You kind of manage them like, I don't even know, I don't want to think about that too much because I was exposed to a real narcissist and it was very, very, I had to get out like this, as soon as I knew, oh, for sure, honey. I went to go check it out and I'm like, yeah, he is a narcissist. So I want to say you've got to use your words. For those of you that resonate with this example that I'm giving, you've got to use your words and get your butt out of there like this. Okay? Especially if you have children, you're going to need to use your words because there's something that is a matter of a time constraint. Maybe this is a window of opportunity that's better and safer for you to get away from this person, go get your healing, go have a drink with Bernie, whatever it is, once you can celebrate getting away from the narcissist. I'll tell you something. It took me days, even having known a person for a very, very long time, or at least on the surface, but I'm the type of person that used to be like, oh, well, what's this? They can't be that terrible. No, they are that terrible. So once you've made that realization, that understanding, then you need to use your words to get out. If you can get other people to help you, if you can be you may need to get the help of different services that will protect you and will be your kitty in the corner that looks pretty harmless until somebody messes with them, right? For those of you that this doesn't resonate in terms of the relationship, although, and who is this nasty person, this nasty Libra? I don't know if they have to do with that relationship. It could be somebody at work that is just interfering with you, but if this isn't about a relationship, I don't know why I'm feeling like I really need to tie those in. I suppose because I'm thinking about the time that I went and was gone. That reminds me of a song that my dad loved when it would come on, Hee Haw. And she was gone. But for those of you that this resonates more with an issue, problematic, dynamic that doesn't have to do with the relationship, I think that this could be neatly resolved by showing your claws, even if you have to, let them know that you hiss once in a while. That will end your charm reading. And boy, let's just smell it one more time. You know what that sounds like? Smells like heaven. Sounds like victory and escape. I love you guys.